either dragons or the classic Root Riders, which looks to be the case here at Zoo.
Yeah, and he's going in with a Royal Champion charge, which has to be expected since the attributes are just so incredibly strong. But I think he has only invested, or he's going to invest only 3 invisibility spells, which means that this Royal Champion charge is only supposed to get this first layer of defenses, and then he's going to recall her probably really quick right after, just to make sure that the pathing for the second phase, which are the Root Riders, is then set up, and that's exactly what it looks like right now.
And he does even grab that Ground Expo and pulls the Spirit Fox just in time there, as the Log Launcher is going to be paired in with the King and the Queen towards the top side of this base, as they're going to make their way right on through. Has an Overgrowth to use, but he'll wait as he's pushing. He will push in with the Root Riders at one point, as the Queen may follow behind this Log Launcher to get into the core of the base here.
Yeah, but the outside has to be cleared. So the Root Riders are getting pushed then in from the far right side, and the pathing is set up because this is what it's all about. Remember, Root Riders are going from defense to defense. They don't care about storages or other buildings. They're only caring for a defense, and this is why this pathing is so important for this troop. And so far, things look quite solid. The Multi-Infrared Tower and the Fire Splitter, though, they're dealing so much damage right now.
Yeah, they are hitting through the troops and even can hit back to the healers as the path is pushing through. But the Root Riders are going to the bottom, and the Town Hall is remaining up. But he does have the Royal Champion, even with her ability still to use. So as long as these Royal Champions can clear the defenses at the bottom side, the RC can get some fantastic value through the core. As the Sneezy and its pet there, the Boogers pulled some red air bombs, which are fantastic to try to help even protect these healers. But granted, they're not going over the core. The healers are on the Root Riders, which is where you want them to be at the bottom.
Yeah, they're making sure that those Root Riders are staying alive, keep tanking. We now have the Queen joining up forces again with the other troops, and even the giant from that equipment is in the mix as well. What makes this equipment as well so strong is just the fact that it's attacking everything, which means, like, it's attacking everything when it's attacking the giant itself as well, which means a hero, for example, but on this one is not even needed. This base is done, and NAVI is starting. This is exactly what they should do with their first attack, and they're coming in with a similar approach, having the Royal Champion charge in this one as well with the recall spell, and then the Root Riders to follow things up.
Yeah, the RC going to look to get some initial value, going invisible to the Ground Expo down here with an invis off to the right. Will she step into the builder? No, does make her way to the multi, and then can go towards the Monolith, but he won't be able to grab the Monolith because he's out of invis spells, and no! Wait, no, at least he pulled the RC back, but the Spirit Fox... Okay, I thought from his reaction that the RC died, but luckily he does still have the RC, but the Spirit Fox, that would be really nice to have back, but unfortunately he doesn't.
Yeah, that would be great to have that pet still alive. It's just protecting this hero so nicely. But again, we're having those heroes trying to set up the pathing for the second or even the third stage then, with the Root Riders, really making sure that they have this pathing for the defenses set up, and they can really make sure that they're staying together, because something so important about this attack are the healers. They're not just healing a single target, they're having this area healing, which means if the Root Riders are staying together, it's great. If they're splitting, it's really bad.
Yeah, with the Log Launcher also trying to help assist, opening up with those Yetis and the King's Earthquake Boots through the core. And that spiky ball. Tunnel just gone down. Valkyries continuing their way up to the top side. Royal Champions up there. Pairs in that freeze. Is looking to keep the RC alive, but the Queen, she's now made her way to the Monolith, secures that. But the enemy Queen is going to take her down super quick as he tries to keep his troops alive through the core. And that Royal Champion, she's still moving.
Yeah, he has done a great job keeping her alive, but still, that ability on the back end would have been so nice to still have. We now have this moment, exactly what I highlighted in the first attack. The Giant now is attacking that defending Archer Queen, and that Giant is just dealing so much damage, especially in a raged up mode, and there's not much space left, Calvin. This could still work, should still work.
I'll get it. It will work. And there you go. Even after losing the Spare Fox, thinking that the Royal Champion could have died there, but no, delivers a 3-star, and we've got ourselves a match. 3-star, and it doesn't get that exact same value. But Kazuma is up here for Navi, and it's going to be a huge Royal Champion charge. No recall for her, as he's looking to get an incredible amount of value. But Itsu, there might be a lot of traps expecting an RC charge from this area.
Yeah, it's something which makes the prediction of this Royal Champion charge harder is, well, he's using the King. He's using the King to push that Royal Champion into the core of this base to manipulate the pathing. But the King, and that's maybe something which is just like predicted, with those Tesla and the skeleton traps, was not able to get the value, was not able to get the buildings. And with that, you are maybe right. This entry being predicted and the Royal Champion not pathing into the core as Kazuma was hoping for.
Yeah, with that RC continuing into the middle now toward the multi, but Giant Bomb there, popping the ability finally. Another Invis wants to remove that multi. But I did notice he had the Earthquake boots on the King. I can only imagine if he had maybe a giant gauntlet to help deal a lot of splash could have taken care of the skeletons. But granted, the Monolith is still up, and that is one of the defenses that could be very troubling for Dragons as he now deploys them to the bottom side and has the blimp to fly all the way across, and he barely protects that blip with the Warden Internal Tome.
Yeah, but the blimp is going down really early, and he's not able to get even close to that town hall. He has still a lot of troops, but we all know in hard mode, those troops can disappear quite quickly, and he has a long way still to travel to get towards the town hall. He has a couple of rocket units which he can invest to really push those dragons back on track. But you have to mention as well, that Monolith was able to stay alive really long, and the Minion Prince ability is forced as well into the wrong direction.
Yeah, it was forced through the top side, so not going to hit that town hall. And he definitely can't afford a 1-star here, as there's only one Invis, and this is a 1. There's no way, right? I mean, with a dragon going to the outside, the Warden's going down, and a 1-star here for Kazuma. And I wonder if that blimp, he accidentally tapped it and clicked open instead of that blimp flying all the way to the town hall.
But even then, I'm a little bit confused by the filling from the Clan Castle, because we have seen inside that blimp a Super Dragon, which would be not that classic to take down the Town Hall. So I'm not sure if the blimp was actually intended to reach the Town Hall, because then I would have expected something like Yetis, because he looted the Clan Castle already with the Royal Champion charge. So really surprising what exactly went on there, but something
probably changes their mindset going in, and definitely being a little bit more cautious and making sure they secure at least that 2, as that Royal Champion is going to go in with the Invis charge into the multi, and then eventually towards this Monolith. Maybe not. He might not be able to get it. Yeah, no. Pulls that RC back.
Yeah, that Monolith could be problematic, but at the same time, we are going to have again one of those log launcher entries where he's going to have a Golem and the King as well going to that compartment with the log launcher opening up this section between the Monolith and the Scatter, which means he can easily take down all of that anyways. He's going to then have the Root Riders going to enter from this Wizard Tower on the bottom side into the Mortar, into the tunnel then, and you can really see how this pathing is going to then be shaped up for those troops. Everything now is going to be deployed, and we have as well then some more support for the Root Riders in form of the Valkyries.
With that log launcher about to open up here, it can help. Hey, no, the King took out the Monolith there, so the Yetis are going to path their way off to the right potentially. No, they may go to the top, but he does pair in that Warden Eternal Tome. Root Riders should open up the wall leading towards the Town Hall now, as the Overgrowth has now been paired into the top side, and the Town Hall will easily go down as he still has the Queen ability and Royal Champion ability intact.
Yeah, and we see again the power of the Sneezy Pad, because all of those red mines are getting triggered, and this really keeps those healers safe, even though the Warden ability was already invested. But there's a lot of base left, and that Power Spitter now is start taking down the Warden, start taking down Sneezy, start taking down the healers. This is not a good spot to be in.
Not a good spot at all, as he's trying to rack up percentage. He's shaking his head there. He's not liking it. Can pop the Queen ability, get more value, get more percentage, but he wanted way more than that. NAVI with their 1-star, though. You never know. A triple and another 2-star from DIZI Group. NAVI can be back in it, and then the percentage game is gonna be the difference maker, as we are seeing that Queen trying to continue through the enemy Queen there. Invis barely keeping her alive. Does have an open wall there, so the Queen can step up a little bit more, and pushing into the 80s. You know, every single building will matter in the end.
Yeah, there goes the freeze, but can she take down another building? No. The Mercs defense is staying alive while we have the Giant keep going, taking down building after building, and every percentage matters, as you highlighted earlier. 88 right now, but I feel like this is going to be the final score for this attack. Overall, really solid approach, but as well, the Royal Champion was, I mean, she
this weekend and compete here today. So the captain is now up. Gaku needs to deliver a 3-star, does have the Root Riders. Starting off with that Royal Champion Invis, Yeti was sent to the right side. Yeti might jumping over these walls, and Giant Bombs popping in front of this Royal Champion, which looks to try to kill off the Spirit Fox, so he then can't use it later in the attack to help keep the RC protected.
Yeah, and again, we're seeing the double epic equipment combination on that Royal Champion, which means you have to be careful and for sure highlight if she can get any value after she has used that spear, because what you want to have happen is that the passive healing of that Electro Boots is just going to heal the Royal Champion up again and is giving some hit points back while she is staying out of range of most of those defenses. But for that to happen, she needs to have some tanks in front of her in form of those Root Riders. But we're having them now pushing into the Town Hall. We have this classic combination of the Ice Golems and the Fire Spirits of the Furnace. But the Root Riders, they have to stay alive and tank.
As the Warden Internal Tome protects, I do like that Coco Loons that's getting out in front to try to pull traps for these healers, as the Town Hall has gone down. Secures that 1-star. Continues through. There's a Baby Dragon in the middle as well, which could pull air traps to really help protect these healers as it continues his way with that Overgrowth paired into the left, dropping a Skeleton spell to distract the Monolith. We have the King, Queen, and a few Root Riders going to the left. Warden has also decided to go left, while the Royal Champion and just like one Root Rider and the healers have now switched and gone to the right side.
Yeah, and the Royal Champion has already used her ability. She was able to get all of those rocket spears out there. So that was a nice timing to really make sure that she's staying out of danger. Right now, there's a lot of damage around her. And the question is, can she get enough hit points recovered? But I feel like the defending king is having a strong opinion against that. Well, his Archer Queen still has her ability with as well the double epic equipment combination of that Giant and as well, I think, the Magic Mirror.
Yeah, that one Root Rider that opened up the wall now for that Queen is going to be clutch. So the Queen won't get stalled up on the walls to the outside. And there is the Giant, the action figure ability, which will spawn the Giant for the Queen. The Mirror as well. Gonna have the burn ability here. There it is. Has to fight through this mini imprints, but only 25 seconds here at 2.
Ooh, this is going to be close. The cannon is getting those shots on the Archer Queen as well. The Giant is trying his best, but that is not going to look like the 3-star. It is close. The tomato trap is protecting the Expo, and in the end, you said a time fail. And this means NAVI with 2 buildings short. They are the team with those things can be turned around quite quickly. And we're having the next attack. It's going to be again one of those Royal Champion charges with the Root Riders as a follow-up. Gak already said in the beginning, currently most players in this competition are playing pretty much the same strategies. And it's the Royal Champion charge with the Root Riders, or it is the Royal Champion charge with the Dragons. This is just those are the best strategies right now in the game by far. And the pros are really trying to take advantage of that as much as possible.
Yeah, with an early value of that Royal Champion, which sets the funnel on one side. Then you use your king and queen to set the funnel on the other side. And notice we have the Root Riders coming in between those 2 points, in between where the Royal Champion was and in between where the king and queen currently is. So the Root Riders can go towards the core, into the Town Hall, into the middle. As he is waiting to use the Warden ability, will he use it earlier rather than later so he can protect as many Root Riders as possible? But you really want to use it when you're experiencing all the damage from the core of this base, and especially that Giga Bomb right there, and protects right through it.
Yeah, really nicely done, protecting his troops at the right moment. Now using the Overgrowth spell to redirect them towards the bottom side. And I feel like the Overgrowth spell oftentimes can be like backfiring quite a bit if it's going to wake up at a really bad time for the attacker. And that multi-front tower on the back end, those healers are getting roasted so quickly, so you have to be careful when it comes down to those troops are coming back, and that's right now the case.
RC's got her ability, Queen's got her ability. It's looking pretty solid here as the Root Riders have opened up the complete core of this base towards the backside, as he can still pair in these abilities together, and there's not much left. Really the biggest threats, we have the defensive king, which would be quite annoying, but the queen is working through him. And then the RC ability will be able to help pick these defenses off, and Ryuta and DIZI group are going to be adding a triple here, and this is a fantastic start for them. And this is attack of 3, which now is going to put them to 8, and they're going to be the 2 stars up. That is going to be huge going into the final 2 attacks in this match.
Yeah, this right now is the worst nightmare for all NAVI fans and NAVI players. But DIZI just...
And these are the ones that, if you have a chance to copy, definitely do it, because they're going to help you win your wars, especially in CBL when you only get 1 attack in those matches. Well, let's see, as Stars is now investing the Royal Champion with 5 invises left. He's already sent in the 1 invis. He wants to get this value with her, continue through, but it is not looking good for Navi as they are down by 2 stars.
Yeah, but they just have to concentrate at their own game, have to make sure that they're delivering those attacks. And oh no, that is, as we're speaking about delivering their own attacks, they're messing up the timings a little bit. The Royal Champion taking a lot of damage. The Fox going down as well. Now he needs to make sure that he's getting everything he was coming for, and he's recalling the Royal Champion, keeping one of those invisibility spells, but having the Bitter Heart, or at least both of them alive, this could be problematic moving forward if the Root Riders are getting distracted then.
Yeah, the Root Riders, though, could get pulled up there. We're going to see the healers now deployed in between where the RC went and the King and Queen. But the King, he's backtracking. He's meant to stay out in front and help protect that Queen. So that's not exactly where he was supposed to go, as now the Warden can help protect these troops waiting to use this War Internal Tome. And if he does use it to protect that 1 balloon, that would be very nice. No, because it could have gotten out in front and pulled some more traps. So now these healers are exposed unless we have the Sneezy getting some of the boogers out in front to pull the traps and protect the healers.
Yeah, but the problem here is that those boogers are attacking everything, which means right now they're getting distracted from the upside storages, and this means the healers, they could lure some red mines, and we have to really keep a close eye on those healers. There's the black mine. First healer is gone. Town Hall shooting at them as well. The Fire Spirit as well. Those healers are going down quick, and without the healing and the Town Hall still up, things are looking rough.
Not looking the best here as the King Spiky Ball skips across. Does have a direct path to the Town Hall with that King, so he's going to secure it with the assistance of the Warden. But the Queen has gone to the bottom side. He's lost the flank to the top with the Root Riders. The Valkyries, Super Barbs pulling some traps, the Spring Traps there, and everything is fading away with just another Invis spell left to try to get extra value. But with this being a 2-star, they're going to be tied 8-8, but DIZI group still have another attack to do.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Navi and for Stars in this specific attack. They were able to try to get a lot of value around this top side. In the end, I feel like they somewhat got the
attacks. And it seems like it's the different DIZI teams, because it was DIZI Hispanos that actually sent Navi down to the lower bracket last weekend. So it's just DIZI has got something against Navi. It's like that's Navi's kryptonite or something in the upper bracket.
Yeah, and especially when I watched, like, looked at the match history of Navi, both first matches in the qualifier were 10 stars. So even in the lower bracket they have right after, like the first match versus DIZI Hispano, where they only got 10 stars, they got back-to-back then another 10-star, which means they were just relying on their defenses, and it feels like that is not working at this stage of the competition. At this stage, you have to produce more 3-stars on your own, because you're seeing it with the DIZI group. Your opponents will 3-star, because at this stage we have only the best teams left, and the question now is, can Den provide for DIZI group another 3-star, because the Royal Champion pathing setup in the beginning looks flawless. Now it's all about the follow-up.
Yeah, with a Minion Prince soloing to the bottom side, he's gonna act as what the King would do. So no King in this attack. The Minion Prince is low health, but pops the Minion Prince ability, which will slow all that stuff down to the left as Ice Golems come out of the Clan Castle, and he's going with the E-Dragon choice off to the far side of this base, but that won't last long as the E-Dragon is going down, as the Warden is trying to help protect these Root Riders through the core and through this Town Hall.
I have to say I really like this Minion Prince approach, because the Minion Prince can really provide a lot of value on that flank. So let's see if this Phoenix form of the Minion Prince can provide enough funneling, enough pathing for the Root Riders. But the core, there's not that many troops left alive. I feel like the choice of the Siege machine was maybe not the best.
But at the end of the day, they could be switching up their mindset, knowing of the lead that they have. They could be going for way safer, just 2 stars, lock it up.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you don't have to get many 3 stars. You don't have to get 13, 14 stars. You just have to win your current war. The stars do not carry over. You won't have tiebreaker situations between teams. That's not the case. You don't have to add stars up over each war. It's all about the individual war, one at a time. You win, you advance, and that's what they're focused on.
Exactly, and so far they're doing exactly that, getting that safe 2-star on this one with the Royal Champion opening, which just worked out perfectly for him, and he has now the opportunity to really get even some more buildings picked up. So even if something crazy is happening and this match might get turned around, they're not losing on the percentage side, because right now he's getting more and more percentage and ending and finishing on the 87%.
Is so much harder, because once you make it from the lower bracket to the grand finals, you're going to have to win back-to-back matches and force that bracket reset, and that is not an easy thing to do against these teams.
Yeah, not an easy thing to do at all. And we're seeing again one of those Royal Champion Charge openings. This time around, no Root Riders, but instead back to the Dragons. Something which he does right now as well is using the Archer Queen on the left side with the Angry Jelly to do the job of what in one of the earlier attacks of Kazuma the King was supposed to do, to really push the Royal Champion into the Monolith. And this time around it seems like that the Royal Champion is following the call and going for that Monolith, which is the main target, especially if you're attacking with those really, really beefy troops like the Dragons. Having a lot of hit points is not the best thing to have for the for approaching versus the Monolith. So really nicely taking that out, and right now in the core, I mean, this opening so far is looking amazing.
It's looking fantastic, because he not only took out the Infernos, both sweepers, the last Inferno should go down to the boots, yes, but he also triggered the Tornado Trap. The Royal Champion won't be able to grab the Town Hall, but I don't think he was expecting to even get that close to it, but it seems like there's nothing left.
Yeah, really, really great job of pushing that Royal Champion in the right direction. Such a nice call there. And now we have the Dragons from this top side. Something which I've experienced as well with playing the Dragons quite a bit is the Rage Tome is... I don't know, for me the Rage Gem a lot of times is just missing the power, because the Healing Tome provides so much more hit point recovery, and with having the Town Hall dealing so much splash damage, it just feels like the Dragons disappeared way too quick. And take a look at that, Carbon. They were not even able to crush the first wall, and they're already like mostly gone.
Wow, the air defense of the top side stays up. Did go with the Super Dragon outside with that blimp to the left, but the air defense absolutely shredded all those dragons, shredded the baby dragon, and where did it all go? He's got a rage still left to use, but everything just faded so quickly. And if you don't pick off those air defenses, those dragons just don't stand a chance.
Yeah, and just the splash of the town. I feel like a lot of people underestimate that with how much splash the town can really do. Because remember, all of those defenses are having a multiplayer of 20% more damage. And that in the splash way on how the town is working on Town 17 is just so scary. And this is why I always like to use the healing tome. It is really interesting. I think already the next attack is happening.
Yeah.
So let's hope that we can jump in there as quickly as possible, as the last couple of percentage points are getting picked up in this one, but it's going to fall short. Navi is going to finish on 10 stars, and with that, it only means that they're tying up versus DIZI Group, while DIZI is a
pink, and they just would have no chance to try to come back after their opponent is delivering 3 stars. So here it is, the final attack that is coming in now for DIZI Group to lock this one up, get that single star, and you were advancing to take on the other DIZI team.
Yeah, there's a lot of DIZI teams in this stage of the tournament, so they have to face off against each other. That will be an intense match for sure, as this one, as long as he's getting 1 star, they are good to go. But I'm pretty sure that they're aiming for more, trying to make sure that they're getting as close as possible to the 3 star, and as well collecting as much momentum as possible, right? Because they're having to face a tough opponent within their sister clan.
Yeah, with now these Root Riders pathing straight to the core, pulling the Giga Bomb, but luckily the healers are there to heal them back up, but there's probably a lot of red air bombs waiting for them as they pass. There it is. Oh, there's the first layer. There's gotta be more. These healers are gonna, oh, bye-bye healers. They are all gone as he tries to continue through, but it doesn't matter at this point. He's locked up the star. He's added a 2nd star on top of that, and DIZI Group will be winning this match, taking down Navi with a score of at least 12-10. And just wasn't Navi's match here. And they don't want me to say it wasn't their day, because if that's the case, then that means they would potentially lose their next one, which if they do lose the next one in the lower bracket, then that means they would be eliminated, as we are indeed going to be eliminating 2 teams here today, and then we'll find out who gets that golden ticket tomorrow to play in the Clash of Clans World Championship later this year.
Yeah, it will be... I mean, we all hope for that Navi can somehow turn things around when playing later today and somehow make a better performance. I feel like 11 stars would be still solid without the 1 star, but at this stage, it's just, there are so many good teams. There's so many good teams in this competition that 11 stars is not the safest call for the win. In fact, 12 stars seems to be the name of the game for those winning teams right now, but we will see. Right now, though, DIZI Group, with the, and you have to consider as well, the more matches you're playing, the more matches are getting shown from your team in streams, in videos. Other teams can prepare better.
Synchronic taking on Team Electros. Then after that, Tribe Gaming